Welcome back to Celebrity Radio with me, Alex Belfield, talking to some of the country's biggest stars and one of the UK's most popular touring comedians. He's got a brand new DVD out called All Grown Up, and Chris Ramsey joins us live from London. How you doing, Chris?
Hello, I'm absolutely fine. How are you, sir?
Well, I'm delicious, but not as good as you, mate.
Do you just say you're delicious?
Well, a little bit.
That's fantastic. I'm going to use that. I'm delicious. Yeah, man, I'm great. The tour and everything's going great. Really excited to have my first DVD out. Like, absolutely over the moon. It's exciting to know that people will be like buying something I've created, which is really, really cool.
You've had such a terrific year and it's gone so well. I guess getting the DVD is the final affirmation that you've actually made it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think people have to buy it for you to count that. I think just making it and hiding it in a bargain bin in a service station basket. But yeah, it's amazing. It is awesome to be able to do a DVD, to be able to make this thing and toil over it, and then have people. The fact that people have been sending us messages and stuff and photos on Twitter going like, I've just pre-ordered it. Here's the people send it and they go up. It's pre-ordered like an Amazon page or an HMV page. It's really genuinely exciting. Genuinely exciting.
We last spoke about a year ago, and I said to you then that you're one of the most warm and charming and likeable comedians on the circuit. And I think we got to see you most through Celebrity Juice. That show certainly did you no harm in bringing you to the public.
Oh, thanks, man. I can't remember you saying that. I definitely would have remembered a compliment like that. You little delicious tinker, yeah. It's Celebrity Juice has been really good for me. I think the Katie Hopkins one, especially, that went viral. That was very good for me. But it is the kind of thing that I fall into. It's like, because my stand-up isn't formulaic, and it's not like you can come and see us 2 nights in a row, and there will be different things happening in the show, and there will be different moments, and I will roll off the audience. And I think that is what Celebrity Juice, weirdly, even though it's not a comedy show, it's not a stand-up show, Celebrity Juice is the main panel show for me that replicates live comedy the best. That anything can happen dynamic that happens in the show, and I think that's why I fit into it so well.
I presume when somebody like Hopkins comes into that studio and sits opposite you, it's gold dust, because that's an opportunity for you to shine, and you're not going to lose, are you?
Yeah, well, I'm the only comedian so far that's been sat across from her in that kind of situation. She hasn't put herself on that in that firing line before. She was supposed to be on the show ages before she came on, and I heard she was going to be on. I got really excited. Obviously, I was sharpening my spear, and she. That sounds sexual. It wasn't sexual. I meant like. Sounded like an innuendo. I didn't mean that at all. I meant literally a spear to go to war. But yeah, and then she wasn't on, and apparently she was really furious that they hadn't had her on. So she fought to get back on the show, and then when she went on, she just sat in the fire line really and just talked herself into it. Because as much as people think Celebrity Juice is a bit of a bear pit and Keith takes the mick out of people, it's done in a very positive, very loving, very kind of nice, happy environment in a happy way. So when someone like her comes in and just starts slagging off fat people and poor people, it's like, well, you know, fat people and poor people watch this show, so strap in.
Let's talk about your brand new DVD called All Grown Up, and indeed you have. You've just had a baby, you're married, you're settled down. I mean, it must be incredible being you. You could be the guy going out being the player getting laid if you want to, but you've chosen not to do that.
I've had the single life. I think we've all had it. I think it's something in your life that you've got to possibly get out of your system, I think, because I know I've got friends who've settled down, and I know people who are like, oh, I wish I could go out every Friday and I wish I could do this and that. And honestly, I really don't. I've really got that out of my system. I mean, I love going out with my friends and seeing my mates and stuff, but I don't know, like, it's not a thing I crave. When I see single people out, and when I hear like mates who are like, oh, I'm going to go out on the pull and stuff, I'm like a little bit sick in my mouth. I'm like, I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore. Like, I can't remember what it was, but me and my wife were watching something on TV recently, and it was someone constantly trying to get laid, and I was like, I'm so glad I don't have to do that anymore. She was like, I know. It's like, I don't know, but I don't know if it's not. I suppose it's what you make of it. You know, some people would look at that and go, oh, that's boring. You're boring. But other people, family people, would go, you're not. And I don't know, I like to hit a medium between it. Me and my wife like going out together and like going out with our friends and stuff. But yeah, it's I definitely do not crave the single, getting laid, as you put it, life.
I know, I certainly have a way with words, don't I? Help me with then how you keep it exciting in the bedroom and not boring, because the first time you put your hand down the top, it's magical. The second time, not so much.
Well, I think your problem there is you're starting and ending at the top. There's stuff down from there. That's much more exciting.
All right, let's talk about your new life as a father then. I don't quite get it. I love my godkids. I love my nephew, but my God, they smell and they go to the toilet a lot and they have windy pops and bodily functions, all of which I don't want anything to do with. Why have you chosen to have a baby then?
Well, do you know what it is? I feel that about other people's kids. I feel that like they're just hard work. Do you know what I mean? Like I love them to death, right? But my wife's nephews, well, my nephews, but her sister's kids, they're lovely. But sometimes I'll be sitting like me in my house, my little spare room that I use as an office is at the front of the house, and the window looks down the driveway. It's downstairs, and sometimes I would look out on a Saturday and I'd see our sister getting out of the car and opening the car and these two kids piling out the car and be angry that they'd come to ruin me Saturday. Do you know what I mean? I'd be like, look at this tidal wave of nonsense coming up my drive to ruin me Saturday. But looking at my son, looking him in the face, he's only 2 weeks old, but looking him in the eyes, I know that when he gets to that age, I'll think he's the best thing in the world, like I do now. Do you know what I mean? But with your own kids, it's different. And her, that sounded terrible. My wife's sister, who has these kids, they are a nightmare. They are hard work, but she loves them to death, and she can't bear other people's kids. So I think that's what it is. It's a very selfish, this is mine, I made this is the best kind of thing.
And help me with bodily functions, because you parents love to talk about this sort of thing. I don't like changing myself. What's it like changing another human being?
Do you know what? For the past 2 weeks, I've never in my life been more interested in someone else's bodily functions, someone else's bowel movements. Mate, honestly, I've turned into a poo cheerleader. Like, I'm honestly, it's like you'll undo his nappy and it goes from the idea of opening a nappy and going, look at the state of that, to, you good lad, look what you did. Like, what a life he's got, getting commended on his poos, man. I mean, who doesn't want a high five for a good poo they've done? It's ridiculous. I think, right, I've worked out, my theory is that's why you can't remember being a baby. You can't remember being a baby, because if you could remember being a baby in detail, society would stand still. It would stop. We would all top ourselves and we're 14, because being a baby is the greatest thing in the world. You sleep non-stop, you poo where you lie. He poos during meals. Like, I'm putting a bottle in his mouth and it's like one in, one out, like a busy nightclub. Like, you're telling me you've never been halfway through a big poo and thought, I could do a sandwich to get us through this?
Oy vey, I think we better move on. The Raw Variety, let's talk about that very finally in our remaining moments. What a great achievement to do that this year.
Oh, thank you, man. No, yeah, take 30 seconds. I'm really ridiculously excited to be doing the Raw Variety. Like, so excited. It's something I never ever thought. I mean, I'm going to be in the Royal Albert Hall doing me jokes in front of royalty. It's incredible. I can't wait. I'm so excited. You're going to see Chris Ramsey wearing a suit and doing stand-up for the first time ever.
And have a shave, for the love of God. I don't think this facial hairy-fairy thing's quite working for you.
Well, I'll take that under advisement, but you've just said you're not an attractive man, so your opinion means nothing.
You're not wrong there. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. What an amazing year for you. The Royal Variety, the baby, the wife, the house, Celeb Juice going great. You're on tour through the spring 2016. And the new DVD, All Growed Up by Chris Ramsey, is available now. Thank you so much for your time, mate. Lovely talking.
Thank you so much, mate. Cheers. All the best.
Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of my favourite people and some of the world's funniest people as well. And we've got one for you today. Chris Ramsey, how are you?
Hey, world's funniest. That's a pretty big, step up for what I was thinking. But yeah, nice to hear. Thank you.
Well, I said some of. I mean, I'm not saying you are the world's funniest. You're getting close. You're not doing bad.
No, you've said it now. You can't take it back. No, yeah. It's very nice to be considered funny in any sense.
Do you know what I love about you? You have an incredible warmth, and I got to know you through Celebrity Juice on ITV2, and you really nailed that. You come across, you don't show off, you're not interrupting, but you always shine when he gives you that opportunity, and it's such a difficult balance that on those shows, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, especially on that one when you're against, you'll not mind us seeing a force of nature in Lee Francis as Keith Lemon. He's incredible. So when you've got to try and jump into whatever he's sort of just pulling out of the air as he does. It can be quite challenging. I mean, it's fantastic. It's easy to, on them shows as well, for me personally, it's easy to get carried away and just want to just sit there as a spectator and laugh and enjoy it and forget that you're actually there to do a job and you've got to bring something to the table as well, you know.
I always remember interviewing Dara O'Brien, and he said the problem with Frankie Boyle on Mock the Week was that he'd do 2 hours of stand-up, and 2 hours of stand-up would get edited out. I mean, there's no point talking to yourself, is there?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So it's yeah, but I mean, when I did Mock the Week, when I do stuff like that, I genuinely have to try and remind myself that I'm there to do the job as well, because it's just so easy to just sit and laugh at these funny people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you've got to stick your oar in, but again, you've got to try not to look like you're interrupting or trying to show off. It's a hard balance to strike, and I think I'm there. I'm getting quite good at it, which is it only took a couple of years, so I'm happy.
Can you believe the luck that you've made it onto these shows and that you've managed to form a career? I mean, you could have been one of those intellectual types and got your degree and just be boring and normal. You took the risk by dropping that and becoming a comedian, and now you're accepted in those circles. Is that thrilling when you're sat opposite your peers and contemporaries and they accept you as one of theirs?
It really is, yeah. It really, really is. It's that thing of, I remember I did the first time I felt that happen. First of all, you say academic types. I was only doing media studies, so
right, worthless.
I would have been too far up academic ladder. Yeah, when I remember the first time I ever did. I met Frank Skinner at a gig in Edinburgh, and I walked in and I was like, "Hello," and they were like, "Oh, Frank, this is Chris," and I was like, "Oh," and I was like so excited to meet him. He was amazing. And then I remember that I did a gig a couple of weeks later, because it was the Edinburgh Festival, and you could, you know what I mean, you can go and do a few gigs. And I walked into the same room, and I remember walking into the room and going, "Hi, Frank," and Frank went, "Oh, hi, Chris," and it was like, oh my God, like I'm literally, it's just, it's no longer, "Oh, hello, would you remember me?" It's like, "Oh yeah, I do remember you. You're in this job now." And it's I mean, when you do it on telly, it's 10 times more when you just sort of, they all still treat it as a day job. I still get very excited when I'm going to do a panel show or something, because, you know, Dara O'Brien does every single week. It's his day job. It's, you know, but when I'm going to do something, I get quite excited, and it's always really good to just sort of be one of the team, really. But I had a moment last night, actually. Now and then I have moments where I'm sort of, I don't know, it's a weird thing to get used to doing stand-up, and these people listening to what you have to say, and people paying to come and see. And I'm on tour at the moment. I was a gig last night in Belfast, and I had a little bit of out-of-body experience halfway through in my head, where I'm like, my word, I'm just standing here on stage, just telling a story, a funny story that I'd probably be telling in the pub if I wasn't a comedian. Yeah. And there's hundreds in this room hanging on me every word, waiting for the end of the story. It's such a surreal moment. I had a real out-of-body. I phoned my wife when I got off stage last night, and I was like, honestly, I had another little out-of-body experience, thinking, my God, these people actually, it's so strange when you step back from it. I try to never stop thinking about how lucky I am to be doing something I love, you know.
It is the weirdest feeling in the world. It once happened to me. The council phoned me up in Leicester and said, "Would you introduce Her Majesty the Queen?" And I thought, well, I've got nothing else to do on Thursday. And there were 40,000 people there, and I thought, I sort of zoomed out for myself and looked down. Very strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's an amazing, it's a lovely thing, but it's that weird thing of like, I don't know, no matter how much the crowd love you, no matter how great they are, there's always that thing where you think, there's a few hundred people in here now, like, what if they all just turned on us and decided they didn't want to listen anymore? Like, how bad would that be? And it's lovely though.
And the one thing I can't work out about you is the fact that you're now happily married and you're all cushy. I presume everything's going well, is it?
Yeah, spot on, really, really good. Yeah.
What's the point of being young and trendy and sexy and having the girls falling over you and then being married? I mean, that's a home goal, isn't it?
Well, it's because I met the best one.
Ah, good answer.
I met the best one that could possibly be out there. I literally had a moment going, there's pointless looking anymore. There's no one better than you, is there? And that's not a settling down thing. That was a kind of, I'm wasting my time here.
Do you know why I think that's beautiful? Because this business is horrible. It's horrible from the second you get into it to the minute you leave. It can dispose of you within a heartbeat. You can be top of the game one minute and you can be Michael Barrymore the next. It's a tough game. If you haven't got that family life and that stability, I think it must be incredibly tough, and it must be really helpful to have that sort of life that's normal, and it all becomes irrelevant, doesn't it?
Yeah, I still live in the north, man. I still live in South Shields. Where I'm from, I absolutely love it. I'm probably, my dad comes around, cuts me lawn for us. I see all my mates, my
Why can't you cut your own lawn?
Whenever I can. Well, my dad likes doing it, and it's good to see him. But I think it's because what he did was for Christmas he bought us a lawnmower.
Right.
That was when I knew I'd grown up.
Yeah.
But he lawnmower for Christmas, devastated. Lawnmower and a shed. Not joking. They were my 2 Christmas presents off my dad. Furious, my mum and dad. But he it's better than his, so he keeps it in his van, and he does his lawn, and he comes on and does mine. So it's essentially wasn't even for me. He said it was for me. It was a rubbish present, and it wasn't even for me, so I'm gutted. But yeah, it's great, man. Yeah, I still live in the north, and see my dad all the time, see my mates that I've known for years as much as I can, and yeah, I'm not in the whole. I'm not really. I said the other day to someone, I said, you've got more chance of running into me in a motorway service station than you have in a happening nightclub.
And I'm the same. I mean, I live in Nottingham. I've never lived anywhere else. There was a small period I had to live in London because I was doing a show there. But I come home because you really get to see real people. And
hold on 1 second. Did you just claim Nottingham was in the north?
Oh, don't start this debate. Listen, anything south of Leicester...
Are we going to fall out? In Nottingham, you are essentially in Spain. You're almost Spanish. That's how south you are, right? I go to Nottingham, I take me trunks, I take bucket and spades, right?
Listen,
what you mean, yeah?
We've got Soon Pollard. We've got everything we need here.
London hasn't really got a community feel for me. I mean, I enjoy travelling to London to do work now and then, and I will... Do you know what I mean? If I'm down for to do a TV show, my wife will come down and we'll maybe have a little night there and stuff. But I always in my head, I think, if I'm going to live here, can I envisage myself getting me big shop in? And I cannot envisage myself on the tube with me big shop. Not in a million years. Just like dropping stuff and just eggs and that and just rattling bags and people. Nah, forget it. Forget it.
I mean, and your dad couldn't come round with a mower because he'd have to pay the congestion charge, wouldn't he?
No, I got him a fortune a pet. So I might as well get a gardener.
How do you do it? How do you come up with your material? Because what's amazing about you live is you're so relatable. I guess that's it, isn't it? Just knowing your audience and somehow mastering the skill of making every day funny.
Yeah, well, I just honestly, it's weird. I just have this kind of ability to attract weird situations, and I think it is me. I don't know. It's just great stuff happens, and sometimes I go, oh, God, why can't I just check into a hotel and everything go right, and I'm just getting rested and it can be fine? But then I thought, well, if it didn't, I thought I wouldn't have anything to talk about. So it's good that all these things keep going tits up. So it works sometimes. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's I don't know. I like to talk about stuff that I'm not one of these comics who comes out and gives you observation after observation after observation, but I do hide observations quite well inside stories. Because I can't relate to a crowd by going, have you ever noticed this happens? I like to throw it inside of a story, and then afterwards someone will come up and go, that thing you said when you're talking about making the breakfast or whatever, that always happens to me. And I'll go, yeah, well, it was there as an observation, but I didn't do it as a standalone observation. But I just talk about my life, even now, this current show is about when I got kicked off Soccer AM. And it's not about being a celebrity or being on the telly. It's about being an idiot who couldn't control his own mouth and got himself kicked off a TV show on a Saturday morning for saying something daft. But even though I said at the beginning, even though I'm talking about being on telly, I'm not bragging. I'm not standing there going, look at me, I'm on telly, because the story ends with me being the idiot, me being the butt of the joke. And yeah, but I always like to talk about stuff that I'm doing and stuff that's true to me. So even if it does happen to be being on telly, I don't know. There's always something weird about when you see like one of these massive like arena filling comedians, and you see them doing a routine, and they go, "I was in the supermarket the other day." And you go, "No, you weren't. There's no chance on this earth that you were in Iceland 2 days ago. Not in a million years, mate."
They can afford the $4.99 to avocado deliver, can't they? Do you know what's amazing, though? You talk there about being fired, and I'm a guy who's lost every job that I've ever had. And I always think that what we do is on a precipice, because they go on, be funny, push it, go on, get ratings, be funny. And then you one day mistakenly overstep the line and they sack you and make a fool of you in the papers. It's really tricky, isn't it, to know where the line is?
You bugger. That's terrifying. Yeah, I know what you mean. There's always the first. Someone's always ready to point the finger, I think. But I don't go on my way to be offensive or be anything like that. I just kind of, I'm not, I don't know, I'm not like, I say it on stage sometimes, I say I'm not an opinion ninja. I'm not one of these people who comes out and goes, listen to this is the way you should sing, this is what's wrong with this, and this is because if I go out on a night out and, you know what I mean, people come and see me, they'll get a babysitter, they'll maybe go for a food. Normally you go to Nando's every month. The amount of tweets I get of people going to Nando's because they know I'm a big fan. And then they'll come in and have a couple of drinks, and then, you know, they'll head off home later on. And I don't know. I just want to be funny to them. I don't want to preach to them. I just want to tell them funny stories and make them laugh. I don't want to be like, yeah. And at the same time, I don't want to go. Yes, I'm a bit rude, and yes, I do sometimes go a little bit far. But within the context, I never go out of my way to upset someone or offend anyone. I go, "Ooh, watch this. Ooh, you can't handle what I'm about to say."
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I'm a professional clown. I can't. Do you know what I mean? I'm a clown. My job is a clown. Years ago, if I was rubbish, if I was doing this job and I was rubbish, the king would have had my head chopped off. So I can't stand there trying to be the coolest guy ever and thinking, oh, it's because I'm a jester, I'm a court jester. That's what my job is. I don't understand this sort of, oh, watch out for me, yeah.
You should really go on stage with a pointy hat and sort of throw a liver around the stage or something.
Yeah, but me, I might as well do it, to be fair. I'm one step shy of it at the moment anyway, let's be honest.
Do you realise how spectacular your life is right now? That you're on TV, you've got a balanced life, you live in the north, you're not in London, you've got a beautiful wife. I mean, it's going pretty well, isn't it?
Well, I always, I never stop to look at the view. I'm always continually climbing.
Yeah, but you must. Let me tell you something. I watched a program by Oprah Winfrey the other week, and she said something that changed my life. You've got to be present, because you know what? When it's all gone, you'll wish you'd thought about it and enjoyed it. You're not one of those that's always kind of at the next gig before you're doing this one, are you?
I wouldn't say that, no. I definitely have my moments, but I never sort of stop and go, yeah, this is great, I'm happy here. Because I am happy here, but I'm always moving on to the next thing at the same time. But not like a crazy person.
Right.
But you know what I mean, not like a with the motivation of a serial killer. But I know what you mean. I do sort of think, yeah, this is great, but I'll do that on my days off. But I don't get. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say I don't get cocky about it.
Right.
I don't go, yeah, look at me, look at this guy, everything's great. You know what I mean? Like a music video, like riding along in a lowrider with me arm hanging out from some sort of drape pumping. I don't do that. But yeah, God, I constantly. See, when I do some gigs, man, the crowd must be thinking, why is he thanked with so many times?
Yeah.
Like, but with game, but I know it's just, I try not to get cocky about it. I try not to be.
No, you mustn't get cocky, but always count your blessings. For example, I'm a chubby ginger guy with not much downstairs. You know, there's not much going on in my life, Chris. You know what I mean? There's always someone worse.
Oh, that might be the best sentence I've heard today.
Yeah.
I heard a Northern Irish man say "Eye of the Tiger" earlier. That was nice. But you might have just beat that.
There you go. Funny to you, real life to me. Hey, listen, I've loved talking to you. If people want to find out more, please go to his website. It's chrisramseycomedy.com, chrisramsey.com. Find out about all your gigs. You're all over the country. Next year is going to be even bigger. So great to talk to you. I think you're such an inspiration, especially for young comedians. You're different and you make it look so easy. And on the shows you do, that's so tricky. Congratulations, Chris.
Thank you so much, mate. Bloody lovely talking to you.
Cheers, big man. See you soon.
Bye.